97.7 FM and 1190 AM, along with KKOJ.com, your Okoboji radio app, and, of course, streaming live video on ExploreOkoboji.com. From the Windom Recreation Area instead of Island Park in Windom, Jackson County Central Huskies and Windom Area Eagles on the air today and online as well. Kempson Cross alongside Dan Salota to bring it to you, and we do get to play some baseball. We were wondering if we would, a soggy couple of days, and now we got through that. Some sun peeking through, some heavy cloud cover over the course of this day so far. A little bit of a breeze every once in a while as well. And it's definitely a cold opening day, but JCC will have an opening day right here in Windom either way, as Mike Weirson heads up the Huskies. Year 12 here, went 7-16 overall last year, had a regular season losing streak that did not extend into the postseason. They were able to get a win there, and then in close games last year, if they start turning those around, it would go a long way in helping them to their first winning season since 2021. Ben Gallagher, honorable mention all-conference last year. They're younger than expected. Thomas Leopold, the only returning senior, needs some innings, so that's a good thing that they get to get out and build some skills and confidence and continue to do that throughout the season as they go against the Windom Area Eagles, the arch rival who won 18 games last year and advanced as far as the semifinal round of the section tournament. They had a losing season in 2018. And both these teams like to be aggressive, need to seize key moments over the course of this particular contest. Coach Weirson will tell you about that a little bit later on here in our pregame coverage. In fact, we'll step aside, and after a 2-minute break on KKOJ Radio and Explore Live Video, we will continue the pregame with our conversation with Coach Mike Weirson from the JCC Huskies. It's JCC Baseball on KKOJ Radio and Explore Live Video.
Auto Body of Trimont is here for all your car and pickup repair needs. Look to them to be your go-to team for repairs, oil changes, tires, and more. Family owned with many years of dedicated service. Born-Traeger Auto Body of Trimont is here to serve you and everyone in their community.
Strikes or gutter balls, it's all good at Dudley's Garage in Lakefield, Minnesota. Head to Dudley's before or after the game for great food and fun. Dudley's Garage in Lakefield, Minnesota. Open Tuesday through Sunday at 11. Eat, drink, bowl.
When you work with New Way K&H Cooperative, you have a dedicated advocate by your side. They're committed to you in providing answers on market fluctuations, best practices, technology trends, insights, and other variables that affect your profitability. Partner with New Way K&H Cooperative and have confidence in the decisions you make with your operations. Learn more at newway-knh.com.
Come on out and enjoy the scrumptious goodies at A&W Restaurant in Mountain Lake. Burger baskets, amazing root beer floats, coney dogs, ice cream treats, and more. A&W Restaurant proudly supports local sports. Download the A&W app and order online or drive through to pick your order up.
Hi, this is Cade from the ASA Auto Plaza in Jackson, Minnesota. ASA Auto Plaza is a proud sponsor of our local sports teams, coaches, and athletes. When you're looking for a new or used vehicle, think local as well. That's ASA Auto Plaza, your hometown family dealer.
Explore the opportunities waiting for you at Minnesota West Community and Technical College. We offer a network of 5 campuses and 2 dynamic learning centers. Each location offers specialized education tailored to its community's needs. Whether you're seeking technical training, transfer pathways, or a liberal arts degree, embrace flexibility with distance learning options, including PSEO. We are one college with endless possibilities. Check us out at mnwest.edu.
Furman Jackson is proud to support the JCC Huskies. At Focus Law, they know it takes tremendous
like I said, they're
focus
pretty
and
young,
determination
so
to compete at a high level. To learn more about Focus Law, visit the firm's website at focuslawfirm.com. Go Huskies!
JCC Baseball opening day coming up on KKOJ, Jackson County Central and Windom area. Opening day at least for us, and hopefully weather permitting for the Huskies as well. We're catching up with head coach Mike Weirson. How has that weather been for you? It's hit and miss so far in the spring.
Yeah, the first few weeks we were outside probably as much as we've ever been, which was really fun. We got to compete a little bit, play some mock games and scrimmages, and get a lot of live looks. And then, of course, this week, which was supposed to be game week, on Tuesday, but already got moved, has been inside. So we're, back to which in some cases is nice because it kind of slows the pace down a little bit and kind of gets you working more on some fundamental things and some situational things that maybe you've because you get to do some of the live stuff outside that you've skipped over that you do in other years right away outside or inside. But overall, the guys have been great. The energy's been good, and yeah, we've been able to get quite a bit done.
What do you expect from the pitching and sort of defense perspective for the Huskies going into the early games?
Yeah, we'll see, depending how busy we are. I know that there's going to be some young guys that are going to get opportunities, but I think the guys that have returned are looking really good. Gage Johnson, Talon Holm, guys that threw for us some last year. They're still only sophomores, but they're going to be asked to do a lot. And then some of the older guys that, maybe get a spot start, or even some freshmen that might, depending on how, like you say, how busy we are or how busy we get with all these postponements and days that we're moving already, we'll get a good chance. But right now, with Gage and Talon kind of being our two main starters, and having experience in the past, and just based off of how they've looked so far this year, I think that they'll give us a really good chance.
Thomas Leopold was the starting catcher a lot last year. Is that the plan again this year, and how much does that affect in a positive way with some experience behind the plate? Yeah,
with the young pitchers that we're going to have, I think having Thomas back there is going to be a huge advantage for us this year. He's super, super intelligent. He does everything that you ask of him, and then some. Very hard worker, and he's gonna get. He always gets the job done, whether it was in football, whether it was in basketball, and still in the spring in baseball. Like he just he finds a way to get things done, and come out on top somehow. So he's gonna play a big part in this year. Just being the biggest leader probably on the field. It's nice to have a catcher in that leadership spot. Jace Jorgensen is a sophomore, and he's kind of our backup catcher, and we'll get him some innings here and there, maybe on doubleheader nights, some of the non-conference or non-league games, get him some innings or maybe a game here and there. He's a very good catcher. Some of the little intricacies, just calling the game, kind of having a feel for the pitcher, are things that we can continue to work with him on this year to get him ready for the future. And Thomas, I think watching Thomas and getting to work with him a lot this year will help kind of lead him in the right direction.
Some experience, like we've referenced already, and so offensively, what might that look like for JCC? Because maybe there's a case of other teams haven't seen you guys take swings and stuff like that, maybe early on especially. Yeah,
hitting in the cage early in the season, it can be kind of fooling sometimes with it not being truly live. I think it's an advantage this year was we did get to do some live hitting outside during those first couple weeks, but it's one of those things that you come in, and some years I've got a really good feeling. The ball's just coming off the bat great, and then we get into the games and it just doesn't seem to time up the same way. And then other years it's like, oh man, we're kind of struggling in the cage even. It's like, what's going to happen? And all of a sudden we come out and we get live and guys turn it on and we roll with it. So it's always one of those kind of guessing games early in the season as to what you're going to get. With the young guys that we've got stepping in, based off what we've done so far, at the very least, I know that they're going to compete. They're going to have great at bats. Are they going to get outmatched sometimes? Absolutely. That's just part of the growing pains of becoming a varsity player. You're going to get matched up with guys that have a little bit more knowledge of the game. They're going to throw you in spots where you've got a little bit of a hole. And then we kind of learn and adjust and work on those things throughout the season and try to get it so that we aren't leaving such a big hole in our swing, and then making adjustments at the plate based on how they're pitching us, things like that. And that's easier to do as we get into the live stuff. So it'll be good to kind of get rolling with games just so we can start talking and working on some of those improvements. But right now, so far, I think that as far as what we've seen, it's gone really, really well.
one bite at a time, like we've talked about previously as well. And with Windom, the program, obviously, some of that DNA is maybe what you lean on for expectations early in a season for them. What does it look like for the Eagles this year?
Well, I think they're going to be really tough. In the past couple of years, with new coach, Fink does a great job up there. I really enjoy what he does as a coach, and some of the stuff that we try to do the same kind of is fun to watch, go back and forth. But he is very aggressive on the bases. So that's the one thing early in the season, knowing we were playing them early, that we've really tried to work on, especially defensively, is, limiting their ability to get those extra bases and things like that. So it's one of those things that what they're going to do, but you still got to make the play. That's the thing in any sport. It's like you can have the best game plan, but when things start rolling, are you going to let things that do go wrong snowball and turn into big innings for other teams? And can we take advantage of the times where maybe, we've got some momentum and they're kind of throwing the ball around and we can get a couple extra runs in here and there? The field conditions early in the season is always a thing. You're going to get some bad hops. It's going to be slick. It's going to be soft. It's going to be, mushy based off the rain we've got lately. So it kind of plays into it, and you just hope that the guys can move on to the next play, limit some of those mistakes on our side, and then if it does happen to go our way, to take advantage of those moments so we can, come out on top.
If this is playing, there's a good chance that we are setting up for first pitch next here. So hopefully we will be able to bring you Jackson County Central baseball against Windom on KKOJ Radio and Explore Live Video.
Mean to be on a team. It means other people are depending on
J Radio and Explore Live Video coming straight out to first pitch now. Ben Gallagher will stand in. Number 1 jersey for JCC. In the navy blue tops and the white pants. All white for Windom, meanwhile, with the blue caps for them and some gold trim on the numbers and letters. Windom across the chest there, and JCC across the chest for the Huskies. Ben Gallagher at shortstop to lead off for JCC offensively. And on the hill is Charles Erickson for Windom. And the first pitch is up and in toward Gallagher. Misses ball number 1. So the first pitch of the JCC season comes to Gallagher as a ball. The 1-0 is down and farther away. Ball number 2. Gallagher demonstrating some of what made him an honorable mention all conference. 2-0. Waiting for a strike once again. 3-0. Jace Jorgensen will be next up from third base, and we'll at least see Gage Johnson, number 3, playing center field for JCC today. That one down low, and Gallagher on 4 pitches will walk aboard, and the first base runner for JCC of the season leads off the season offensively. So here comes Jorgensen, wearing number 23 for the Huskies. The catcher is Hayden Teets for Windom area. And the 5th straight ball will bounce in front of the dish and go all the way back to the backstop. Gallagher will go to second. On the wild pitch that went up over the catcher's head. Didn't even have a chance to get to the catcher. The 1-0 to Jorgensen. He will try to square up, but Gallagher now has to get back. Now he'll go to third instead. The slide, he is safe at third. So 90 feet away from the first JCC run of the season now, as Gallagher is safe at third on the steal. So that's another piece and category of the stat sheet that he's filling so far. Jorgensen's still up here. And that one found the strike zone finally to Jorgensen. 1-1?
2-1.
2-1, okay.
So that one is cut back and fouled, goes back for a 2-2 count. But from what I'm noticing here on the, at least from the pitching standpoint, is as soon as he's got his release going, his back fingers are kind of holding onto the ball a little bit longer, which is causing every pitch to go real down low in the zone, as this one is also fouled off and goes out of play. But that's essentially where he's, pitchers tend to favor a specific position as to where they like to go. And usually you can tell as a batter, it's like, okay, if they're going to be up and away, usually that's going to mean a lot more fly balls. It's going to be a lot more maybe some ground outs here. But if it's down low, you're going to get some distance. Exactly what we're seeing right now is that almost every single pitch is usually down low, somewhere low towards the knees, possibly down low towards the sneakers. And that's going to be, in results, a lot of foul balls if you're going to find that connection. But you're also going to get a lot more fly balls up and away out into the outfield.
And time called at the last second there by Jorgensen on a 2-2. Another delivery coming, a couple foul balls in a row with Gallagher over on third in a scoreless first inning. That one up near the head of Jorgensen, and getting back is Gallagher. The dive will put him there safely, and so we'll do it again. But now the count will be full. So Jace Jorgensen awaits a 3-2 payoff pitch with a runner on third in the form of Gallagher, who walked aboard originally and now made his way to the third base. That one finds the zone, and a backwards K hung on Jorgensen for out number one. So Gage Johnson will come up now. A lot of strength for him, for JCC.
Gage Johnson.
One of the sophomores, several sophomores on the JCC roster. One out now after the strikeout by Jorgensen. Johnson will stand in, the right-hander, with Gallagher over at third. That one down the pipe, and Johnson will swing through it for strike number one. So a first time we've seen a first pitch strike from atop the hill in Erickson.
Got him with an off-speed pitch to start things out. Usually kind of a bit different, but that's two back-to-back off-speed pitches right there. Really kind of makes you wonder if that's part of the repertoire or the fact that everybody's really trying to shake off some rust here, as this is usually one of the first or second games of the season.
Now Gage Johnson gets a hold of it out to left field. Going, and it is going to stay in the park, but Gallagher is going to tag up and score easily on the RBI double to make it 1-0 JCC. So the off speed is how people tend to go after Johnson, is what Coach was telling us when we talked to him earlier this week. And Johnson able to make an adjustment at the plate and be able to get a hold of one, nearly sent it into the trees beyond the fence, but not quite. It's a loud and long RBI double to make it 1-0. On the scoreboard now, Hayden Warmka playing left field, wearing number 0, takes strike one. With Johnson still at second for JCC. Now up 1-0 is JCC. And that one inside toward the hands, but Warmka got a little piece of it. It goes to the right, foul on the ground, and it's quickly 0-2. Johnson on second. The 0-2 for Warmka. Just missed.
Good pitch, too.
It's going down low, just barely escaped the zone. So with the runner on second, Warmka will stand back in at 1-2. He'll take a similar pitch, and this time he gets rung up on it. A second backwards K for a strikeout, and the second out of the inning goes in the book that way. Talon Holm, who will climb the hill, wearing jersey number 8, is batting out of the 5 spot now with 2 outs. And Gage Johnson on second, 1-0 JCC. First pitch to him is inside, and did he get a piece of that one?
Yeah, awkward check swing, went around fully. That goes in for strike one. But that was just a really good pitch, trying to tuck it into the outside corner on that strikeout. got to make him reach for it, especially on a good pitch like that.
Holm awaits the 0-1. And that one closer to the middle of the zone goes over to short. The throw is in time to first to get him. So a nice play made there by Joyce. And JCC able to take a 1-0 lead as they will go on the defensive side. KKOJ Radio and Explore Live Video with JCC Baseball.
Plumbing and Heating in Jackson, your local Root dealer, supports area students in and out of the classroom. Stay warm in the winter and cool in the summer with a Root HVAC system from Thermers Plumbing and Heating in Jackson, a team you can count on. Go Huskies!
Need a boost? Head to Smokin' Java in Jackson for the best coffee, espresso, baked goods, breakfast, and lunch. Proud supporters of the JCC Huskies and local sports. Smokin' Java, fueling the community one cup at a time. Follow on Facebook for specials.
Boquet Building Supply of Truman, Fairmont, and Jackson is here for all your residential and agricultural building needs. They have fully stocked lumber yards, AP equipment, and parts. Boquet Building Supply is family owned and is here to help you with all your projects. Find them in Truman, Fairmont, and Jackson. See their completed building ideas at boquet.com.
Follow on Facebook for specials.
Clausen Insurance Professionals is an independent agency located in downtown Jackson. Hi, this is Heather Clausen. Donna Dam and I will make sure you have the coverage you need when you need it. So stop by our office in downtown Jackson. Clausen Insurance Professionals, a proud Huskies sports sponsor.
1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on base for JCC in the top of the first, as Windom area will see the plate for the first time. Carson Kolander out of the 6th spot. We'll see him next time JCC is at the bat. He'll play right field. Carson Dosher at first base wearing number 10. Thomas Leopold is the catcher wearing number 5. Cash Gilbert, number 4, is going to play second base or position number 4 as well. Quentin Teets is out in center field wearing number 4 for Windom area, and he will actually lead off in a moment. Jackson Joyce playing shortstop. He actually helped make that third out in the top of the first. He's wearing number 6, and he'll bat second. Batting third, number 2, Hayden Teets behind the dish defensively. Number 8, Stevie Meyer is in the cleanup spot at first base. Number 1, Matthew Vale at third base. Number 17, Joe Walinga is the designated hitter. Number 5, Charlie Erickson is on top of the hill. Number 9, Nick Walinga playing right field, and Jackson Anderson will play left field wearing number 14. Quentin Teets stands in now against Holm, and he swings on the first pitch he sees on the ground foul down the left field line for an 0-1 count.
So kind of going back to that last out of the inning of the top of the first there, one of the perks that you have as a defensive fielder, especially in a muddy terrain like this, is that ground balls, as soon as they go down into the dirt, as soon as they go down in the grass, they're immediately cut in half on their speed, which means the fielders are going to be able to field them exactly much easier than you would, especially if things were dry. Not going to get any really bad hops or anything. So if anything, the pitchers, they're going to want to go in and they're going to want to try to get as many ground balls as they can for some quick, easy outs. Count goes now to 2-1.
Holm dealing that delivery, and that one underneath it is Teets and out into left field, ranging back from the shortstop position and letting it drop. Miscommunication between Warmka and Gallagher in left field, and over to second goes Quentin Teets, and he's aboard that way.
Looks like he thought he had it, but then as soon as he went up and he lost it in the sun, it just kind of splashed right in front of him.
Second for the Eagles, the shortstop, number 6.
Yeah, he seemed to have a good beat on it. So did Warmka, ranging in from left field, and they were right in the same territory. And Gallagher lost track of it, seemed to call for it, but lost track of it. And now Quentin Teets is suddenly in scoring position thanks to that miscue.
And it is going to go down as an extra base hit, so good clean double for him.
Holm going to home plate, and that one's basically right down the middle to Joyce, kind of up at the chest. Strike number 1. Runner on second, the 0-1 coming from Holm. Looking at the runner again. And again, and going is the runner. Leopold throws down to third, and one hops it over there to Jorgensen, but safely there is Quentin Tietz, demonstrating some of that speed that he uses out in center field. He's 90 feet away from a tie game.
And there goes the other portion of what's going on with a muddy field like this one. You can't get enough on your slides. You're trying to meet, you got too much resistance going on, so you really got to hoof it. You really got to put some speed on you before you dive down because you're facing way too much resistance.
This one is lifted by Joyce out to left field. Coming in to get it is Warmka. Now he will throw it back in and cut off by Jorgensen and keeps Quentin Tietz over at third. So nice execution by Warmka out in left field for the first out. Keeping it 1-0 JCC.
Batting third, the catcher, number 2, Hayden Tietz.
Hayden Tietz, the catcher, trying to score Quentin here. Who is at third with one out now after the pop out over to left field. And now time called by Hayden Tietz, and of course, both of the balls that have been in play, so to speak, have been over to left field, and one of them ended up dropping as JCC wasn't quite able to handle it, so that's part of why Quentin Tietz is over at third. Trying to get out of that, and down on the ground to third. The throw over to first, no play at home. Well, then tying the game, Quentin Tietz will get home, and Hayden Tietz is able to score him. Goes in fielder's choice, right? RBI.
No, that's going to go down as a standard 5-1 on the play.
3.
Yeah, 3-1 on the play.
Okay.
Or no, 5-3 on the play. Mixing up my numbers here.
Well, still scored the run.
It would have been fielder's choice if they would have went towards the batter. That would have been fielder's choice. But that goes down as a standard punch out over at first.
Okay, so it's sacrifice.
Essentially, yeah.
There you go.
We try to get the official score keep.
Well, yeah, I'm getting into.
We're figuring it's the first game of the
opening
season.
Day.
Yeah,
trying to refresh my memory here. Stevie Meyer is out of the cleanup spot. It's now tied at 1. We know that.
Tied at 1 with a 1-1 count.
2 outs. Bases are now empty, and that one missed somewhere for ball number 2. 2-1. And Quentin Tietz is able to come home, and Windom able to take advantage of the JCC miscue, which went in the book as a double, as this one is on the ground and foul over on the left field side. So that's something that I'm sure both coaches talked about, but I know Coach Weirson talked to us about, making sure with your aggression on the base paths here early in the season and philosophically for both these teams, you're able to seize those moments, and Windom was able to do it just moments ago. JCC, of course, took the lead, and this one is inside, and it's fouled. And running over to...
Potential drop third strike on that one.
Okay, so I guess he didn't get a piece of that, so it got away from Leopold behind the dish, so he goes down to first, and Meyer will be safe over there and is able to run that out.
It looked from the angle that it was a bit of a tip backward, but they called it drop third strike, and he was able to go on to first base.
So there's a base runner for Windom at first, and going for second now. Leopold to throw down to second, and throw could have maybe been there. Wasn't quite on the right side of the bag where it needed to be, so safe over there is Meyer. And steals that base, puts himself in scoring position. Matthew Vale is up. And a runner on second now to the plate, swing and a miss.
That's a good cut swing and a fastball right down the middle.
Two outs, runner on second. The pitch, swing and a miss.
Like a cutter up high, but still good read on it.
There is a scoreboard, but they're not doing balls and strikes.
1 ball and 2 strikes. That's going to be
We
just
have a scoreboard.
outside.
That's the good news.
Yeah, just outside a little bit. Almost tried to get the outside corner.
2 balls and 2 strikes. And Holm was verifying that himself as well. The 2-2 coming for Vail. Upstairs, and that'll be a full count. Into the 5 spot here. So both teams have at least gotten that far in the order. 1 run on each side of the scoreboard. 2 outs. Runner on second right now. Swing and got a piece of it. Rolls back to the backstop. We'll do it again at 3-2. Over on second is Meyer, who was able to leg it out after a drop third strike. Got away, went to the backstop in a similar way to that foul ball just now. Now a 3-2, swing and a miss, and a big strikeout, the first of the day for Talon Holm, retires the side. We're tied at 1 after 1 complete inning. JCC Baseball on KKOJ Radio and Explore Live Video.
Bergfried, your local American Family Insurance agent, is proud to support the JCC Huskies. Contact her today at 507-847-3440 or stop by their office in Jackson.
American Family Insurance.
Warmka Towing of Jackson offers 24/7 towing, along with heavy-duty towing, winching, jump starts, tire changes, fuel deliveries, and door unlocks. Located across from Warmka Service Center. If you need your car, truck, semi, or heavy-duty equipment towed, look to Warmka Towing, 507-847-3292. Warmka Towing in Jackson.
Don't miss the weekly sale at the Blue Earth Stockyards. Hay at 9:30 and cattle at 11. They're there to help you with all your livestock marketing needs. Auction, cash flow, direct shipments, and procurement. Blue Earth Stockyards, family owned and
Tied at 1 after 1 complete inning here in Windom, JCC, and Windom area at the Windom Recreation area. Comes across alongside Dan Svoboda. 1 run for Windom on the hit, and no errors, although not an error, huh?
No.
Over in left field, JCC wasn't quite able to handle one, got lost in the sun that's peeking through the clouds, and honestly, with how it's peeking through, sometimes that makes it even more difficult to see through.
It's really difficult to determine whether or not just dropped balls are errors, but if he did make contact and the ball fell out of his glove, that would have definitely been an error.
Right. Strike number 1 for Carson Colander. First time that he's seen the dish. Right-handed hitter. Playing right field today. And that one is upstairs, so that evens the count instantly. A 1-1 count in a 1-1 game as we are underway in the second. That one just too low near the knees, but that's that pitch that he's been trying to get him to go down and try to make contact with. 2-1. That went inside, got a piece of it, gets back to the backstop. Not a solid piece of it, but goes in as strike 2. Two balls and 2 strikes. Erickson with the 2-2 delivery. Just upstairs, and so it's full count to Colander in a 1-1 game, trying to lead off the second. The 3-2 payoff, swung on, and that is lifted in line drive fashion out to right center field, and able to range over to his left from the center field position is Quentin Teets to make out number 1. Carson Dosher playing first base today. Now with 1 out. In the top of the second in a 1-1 game, Dosher will stand in. Swing and a miss. Up and in, slightly on that one. Swung on it. And the 0-1 will now come from Erickson. And he swings, sends that one straight back toward us, hits the backstop, and makes strike number 2. We're just offset to the right, directly behind home plate here. Not in the press box, as you might have figured out if you were watching on Explore Live Video. And that one downstairs, just nearly tickled the dish with that one. Got to ball number 1. Trying to get him to chase down in the zone 1-2, and Dosher reaches down and hits that one foul down the left field line. If that stayed fair, that would have been very nice execution for him.
Just enough tail on it just to go foul, but would have been a nice little chopper to pick up a base hit.
So we'll do it again at 1-2 with 1 out. Tied at 1. Here in the top of the second. Swing and a miss on that one that was up in the zone. And strikeout number 3. First one swinging of the game from Erickson. And that'll be out number 2 here in the second. Thomas Leopold, the senior leader for Jackson County Central, will stand in now at the catcher position today. Wearing number 5. First pitch, he swings at it. A little late for that one. Goes in as 0-1.
Bit of an off-speed curveball. I like it.
Erickson, the 0-1. That one down closer to the shoe tops and not swung on. Evens the count. The 1-1. Swung on and hit over to short near the second base bag. The throw is in time to retire the side in order. 1, 2, 3, and we're staying tied at 1-1 as we go to the bottom of the second. JCC Baseball on KKOJ Radio and Explore Live Video.
Clausen Insurance Professionals is an independent agency located in downtown Jackson. Hi, this is Heather Clausen. Donna Dam and I will make sure you have the coverage you need when you need it. So stop by our office in downtown Jackson. Clausen Insurance Professionals, a proud Huskies sports sponsor.
Are you looking for an experienced and reliable electrician? Call M&H Electric, serving Jackson and the surrounding area. For ag, residential, industrial, and commercial jobs, call M&H Electric at 507-847-2960. M&H Electric, a name you can trust in Jackson, Minnesota.
What does it mean to be on a team? It means other people are depending on you. That's why the Bank Midwest team supports student athletes, because we know being part of a team teaches you a lot. So good luck to your team from ours. Bank Midwest. Member FDIC.
JCC Baseball on KKOJ Radio and Explore Live Video. The Huskies and the Eagles tied at 1 as we go to the bottom of the second. And we'll see Joe Wallinga, Erickson, and Nick Wallinga at the minimum for Windom. 5 batters through at least the first frame for each team got to the plate. A couple hits for JCC and the 1 run. And Windom responded after their leadoff hitter did get aboard. JCC wasn't able to handle one in left field, and Quentin Teets was able to eventually come around and score. That's how they evened the score. Ben Gallagher, the leadoff for JCC, was able to get all the way around in the first as well. And Joe Wallinga will now stand in for the first time here in the bottom of the second as we're tied at 1. And Holm deals that one outside. So ball number 1 to Joe Wallinga. Designated hitter today, trying to lead things off in the bottom of the second for Windom. Swings on that one that was closer to the heart of the zone and evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Holmes shakes something off, now nods and throws the 1-1. That one's upstairs and a little bit away as well. Wallinga getting some encouragement. And the hit is on the ground. Coming over from third is Jorgensen. The throw over to first is in time to Dosher. He was able to handle it. I wondered for a moment there. And Walinga is the first out.
It did look pretty close, but
pitcher number 5, Charles
managed to sneak in the play there.
Jorgensen ranging over toward the mound from third base and was able to cut it off, throw it over, and Dosher able to handle it. So here comes Erickson, pitcher versus pitcher. And home will go outside, away from the right-hander. We got that left-hander going up there. 1-0 to Erickson, another right-hander. Swung on and missed. That evens the count. A 1-1 game. JCC and Windom tied up. 1 out here in the bottom of the second. And a 1-1 delivery coming to Erickson from home. And he swings on that one. Made some good contact, but was a little bit early. And that is fouled out of play down the left field line for strike number 2. So a 1-ball, 2-strike count on Erickson. He swings at that one, puts it on the ground now, still foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes remains the count. And home will do it again. A 1-2 against Erickson. Trying to get him to chase something that was up and out. Ends up going in and evening the count as ball number 2. Count is even. Game is even. Tied at 1. A 2-2 with 1 out. Base is empty here in the bottom of the second. And that one's hit over shortstop on a line. And a 1-hop single gets out to Warmka in left field. And Erickson will be satisfied with that as he is aboard with that 1-out single. Nick Walinga out of right field. And wearing number 9 as well, out of position number 9, will try to do some more for Windom with 1 out.
At least from the way the angle looked, it could have been the shortstop could have reached up and got it, but
now try for a steal at second, just able to get there safely is Erickson. Better execution that time. Leopold throwing down to Gilbert, who was ranging over from the second base position, and Erickson just able to get through into second just in time. So Nick Walinga still waiting for the first pitch of his appearance.
1-0 count.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, well, now it's 1-1. Duh. 1 ball, 1 strike. Opening day for all of us. KKOJ Radio and Explore Live Video here. JCC and Windom tied at 1, but another runner in scoring position for Windom here in the bottom of the second with 1 out. Nick Walinga, swing and a miss.
Ooh, that pitch was nasty. I like it.
Home was able to get him to swing through it as Windom trying a similar equation, trying to get a Walinga to score a Walinga. Erickson trying to get one of the Walingas to score Erickson. Erickson looking at third very hard and then finally gets back. And Gilbert once again over there. Holm threw it over to help keep him honest.
I want to see him do it again. Do that fork ball. That was gorgeous. That has such a tail on it. Oh, nice drop.
See if he tries it again.
No, that's
Upstairs.
up and away.
Evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nick Walinga awaits the 2-2 delivery with Erickson on second. That one down and away, trying to get him to extend for it. Could not. And that'll be a full count now. Erickson on second for Windom. Tied at 1 here in the bottom of the second with 1 out. Nick Wallinga awaits the 3-2, and he hits it on a line out to right, coming in but not quite able to corral it out there. Bounces right in front of Colander and over to third, and staying there is Erickson, and runners are at the corners after Wallinga got another 1-out single in the book for Windom.
I honestly think he actually could have caught that one. If
he was close to it.
He was judging it pretty hard, and I understand that as a fielder you got to make judgment calls, but sometimes it's also better just to let it land in front of you than behind you. That's always a better option too. But that could have been one I think he could have grabbed.
Yeah, hard to. He was looking long and hard at that one, and maybe if he fully committed to a dive, he might have gotten it, but going over to second now without a throw is Nick Wallinga. So now it's second and third for Windom all of a sudden, with Jackson Anderson out of the 9th spot trying to come through and give Windom their first lead. They trailed 1-0. They've battled to make it 1-1, and now in the bottom of the second with 1 out, Anderson takes that one. And that's strike number 2. Second and third. Lead runner is Erickson at third. Nick Wallinga at second. Jackson Anderson awaiting the 0-2 from home. He swings and hits that one to short, and the throw to first is not going to be in time. It gets away from Dosher, and Windom is able to get 1 run out of that as Erickson comes home and scores, makes it 2-1 Windom. Wallinga goes back to third, and over at first safely is Anderson.
Did that make contact with the umpire?
It's hard for me to see because I got all the bodies in between.
Right, it went right on towards the trajectory there. I saw the umpire doing some dancing out there, but I don't know if it hit him or not. But that does go down as a fielding error, though, as they try to pick off the runner there at first, so he's going to be safe. Continue to have runners at the corners.
So runners at the corners for Windom. And that one is lifted into left field on a line, and that's going to roll around, and Nick Wallinga is going to come home and make it 3-1 Windom. Anderson safely at second, and Quentin Teets is aboard once again, and this time he has an RBI in his pocket.
It's a good slice, had just enough carry to get over the third baseman's head. Those are the base hits you want.
Jackson Joyce.
Jackson Joyce, who is popped out to left field previously. Quentin Teets doubled aboard last time. Now he gets aboard via a single here in the second.
Starting out with an off-speed pitch to get strike 1.
Joyce was the first out last time he was up. And, of course, Anderson, can't forget him. He's the lead runner at second right now. Out of the 9 spot is JCC still looking for the second out. That one is just upstairs near the chest. Runners on first and second for Windom. The 1-1 delivery coming from home to Joyce. Anderson is going, no, not going. Thought he was, but then he went in behind every single person that could be between me and the play. So he didn't quite fully commit, but he had me thinking. First and second again for Windom. Joyce swings, hits that one to short, and Gallagher can't quite corral it initially, and everybody is safe. Anderson to third, Quentin Teets on second, and Jackson Joyce will go over to first. That'll be an E6.
For the Eagles, The catcher, Hayden.
As it was at the feet of Gallagher, and it hopped a little bit oddly. And the grass getting into the very moist dirt.
That's what I was kind of talking about a little bit beforehand, is that the ball's gonna hit the soft ground and lose some of that speed, but as that keeps doing it, there's divots out there, and the divots are gonna definitely cause some damage, get some weird natural hops out there.
Still just one out in the bottom of the second, as it's already 3-1 Windom. That one right down the pipe for home, though, against Hayden Teets, who was the second out, grounded out last time he was up.
It's an interesting tactic to always start out with an off-speed pitch.
Nowhere to put Hayden Teets, the 0-1. Upstairs. Still just one out. It'll now be a 1-1 count.
Because usually you want to save those off-speed pitches for around pitch 3 or 4. Give them something to measure, as this one is popped up going into center field, and it looks like it is going to be caught. And that should be out number 2.
Yeah, and then he throws it back in, and Anderson will come in to score, as Leopold was able to get in front of it and keep Quentin Teets over at first. Hayden Teets will go to second on that. And so Anderson scores. The RBI goes Teets' way.
Good sac fly to increase the score.
Over to second is Joyce on that play as well. A couple errors for JCC, helping keep this one alive. Well, there's 2 outs now. Meyer takes strike 1. He got aboard and stole a base, but only got to second last time he was up. Second and third for Windom. This one lifted into foul territory down the right field line and caught by Dosher to end the inning as Meyer fouls out down the right field line. But it is now 4-1 Windom over JCC Baseball on KKOJ Radio and Explore Live Video.
Schmidt at Focus Law Firm in Jackson is proud to support the JCC Huskies. At Focus Law, they know it takes tremendous focus and determination to compete at a high level. To learn more about Focus Law, visit the firm's website at focuslawfirm.com. Go Huskies!
Ribs tickling your taste buds? Head to Smokin' Jake's in Arnold's Park for fall off the bone goodness. They not only smoke incredible ribs and meats, but their full menu offers something for everyone. Open daily for lunch and dinner, plus late night breakfast Thursdays to Saturdays. Smokin' Jake's. Satisfy your smoking hunger.
Discover Jackson Collision and Classics at their new state-of-the-art facility in the Jackson Industrial Park. Family-owned, fully insured, and dedicated to complete customer satisfaction. For top-notch service, visit Jackson Collision and Classics today.
3 runs on 3 hits makes it, well, 2 errors by JCC as well, as Windom is able to extend their lead to 4-1 as we go to the third. JCC has just the 1 run to show for their efforts. Went down in order last time they were up. A couple hits, though, in the first. As we'll see Cash Gilbert for the first time out of the 9 spot, trying to lead things off for JCC. Get their own rally going and respond to Windom, who has scored 4 unanswered runs.
Batting ninth for the Huskies.
And I don't know that it ever got to the high that was forecasted. It's about 45 degrees right now. Kept reading 47 earlier this day. Gilbert, that first pitch is fouled straight back towards us to the right of home plate. And so that'll be strike 1. Oh, 1 coming to Gilbert. He swings and fouls that one out of play over the backstop. But it's on a good enough line that we're not concerned about it. Goes over us.
Erickson's also the type of pitcher that as soon as he gets going, he'll start out a little shaky. He'll start out a little rough. But as the innings progress, as the pitches progress, he starts to build a little bit more confidence. He puts more control on the ball. That's what we're seeing here with a 1-2 count, leading 4-1. Essentially just keeping the JCC bat silent as he picks up another strikeout.
Gilbert strikes out looking.
A swing and a miss.
Oh. All right. Fourth strikeout for Gilbert, or fourth strikeout for Erickson, rather. That's his first time that Gilbert's seen the plate. Gallagher is up now. He's the only JCC run so far. Takes strike one here in the third with one out, as he was able to walk aboard and then swings at this one, and that's a high drive out to center field. Quentin Teets is able to range over to his left and 5 or 10 paces and make the second out.
It's not for lack of trying. I mean, JCC is definitely trying to swing the ball, put the ball into play, but just unfortunately the way that they've been putting the ball into play, it's either foul or it's right into the glove of Windom.
Jace Jorgensen takes strike two from Erickson. And to your point about Erickson, one of the ways that Ben Gallagher was able to make his way all the way around was he spiked one in front of the home plate in that first appearance, as Jorgensen fouls that one down the right field line. But Erickson assuming more command as he's able to move through it. JCC hopes to do that as a team at the varsity level, especially as they move through this season. That one up and in, swung on by Jorgensen, and 1-2-3 inning once again. A couple strikeouts in the book for Erickson, and it remains 4-1, Windom over JCC. Baseball, KKOJ Radio, and Explore Live Video.
Free West Broadband. We want to wish our JCC Huskies good luck as they work hard and strive for greatness. As the area's provider for the fastest fiber optic connections of voice, video, and internet, we know what it takes to go the distance. Learn more at southwestbroadband.com and go Huskies!
Start saving money and time by downloading the Sunshine Foods mobile app today. Make your shopping list and earn rewards on every visit, as well as free items and exclusive giveaways. Visit Sunshine Foods on Highway 71 in Jackson to start earning rewards today.
Tammy's on the Ave and Gerhardt's Catering want to wish area students and staff the very best. Work hard and have pride in our communities. Looking for an experienced caterer? Tammy's on the Ave and Gerhardt's Catering has over 30 years of experience. Look to them for any size catering. Trust in Gerhardt's Catering for all your catering needs. Contact them at Tammy's on the Ave.
Windom leads 4-1 over Jackson County Central as we go to the bottom of the third inning. And leading things off, Matthew Vell for Windom. He struck out last time he was up. The final out of the first, in fact. 3 runs on 3 hits last time Windom was up. Got a run in the first as well. So 1 in the first, 3 in the second so far to help make it 4-1. And that's strike one to Vol now. Nothing for JCC the last couple innings. And that one is lifted way up and out of play over in the right side of home plate. So strike number 2 on Vol.
It's one of the biggest problems for pitchers is that when you got a tiny guy, you got a little bitty strike zone to work with.
Trying to get him to chase something outside that time. Ball number 1.
It's not saying that, shorter people can't play baseball. It's just they have that big advantage that they got a tinier strike zone.
Home with the 1-2, and that one's up high.
And it just means as a pitcher, you got to be more creative, more selective with your pitches, trying to find it. Maybe throw a little bit lower than you're used to, but
that went up high and toward the head, but Vol didn't have to move much. Ends up 3-2. The full count to lead off the bottom of the third. And that one in the dirt on the right side of the plate, so Vol will take his base. So a leadoff walk for him. Joe Walinga will see the plate for the second time. He grounded out to third last time he was up. That was to lead off the second. Runner on first. Walinga, the left-hander. Throw over to Dosher. Makes the runner come back. Get to throw on to Joe Walinga this second time he's seen the plate. Another glance to first. Now the pitch comes, and Leopold has to go chase it down as it gets away to his right. Walinga tried to square up with it, and then Vol was able to take second on that. After walking aboard, he steals second. And Joe Walinga awaits another delivery. Holmes steps away from the rubber. A 4-1 Windom lead. And a 1-0 count on Walinga. Joe Walinga, the runner on second, making home think about him, and that one hit over to second base, gets through the right side, and Vol is on the run to home plate, and that one will bounce away from Leopold. Over to second goes Joe Walinga as well. It's 5-1 Windom as Vol is able to score from second base.
Nice chopper that goes right in between first and second. Just a really good RBI base hit. And then, of course, you got Vol, smaller guy, got the speed, able to run in from scoring position on second base. Just overall well executed. Trading places. Not a guy on second.
5-1 Windom after that latest run scored. Walinga aboard at second as Leopold has to go get that one at home, actually. Will grab it as it rolled into fair territory. Trying to keep things under control. JCC trying to not let Windom stretch it out too much as they try to find some offense as well. Erickson able to go around on that one, and on a line drive, it's caught by Warmka in left field for the first out. Nicely executed by Warmka to come in a few steps and make the routine play. Nick Walinga will stand in now, with Joe Walinga on second. Windom already got another run, made it 5-1 here in the bottom of the third. Now with one out, and that one lifted by Nick Walinga into center, shallow center, and it's going to drop in between three Huskies and end up as a one-out single. Runners at the corners. Walinga's at the corners for Windom now.
Didn't even look like that confident of a swing. Looks like he was just kind of barely reading it on that one, but he just happened to make contact, and it just happened to be a nice shallow single to center field. Sometimes as a batter, you get those.
Anderson reached on an error, later scored for Windom, and now he's up again out of the 9 spot. Throw over to try to get Nick Walinga at first by home. A Walinga at each side of the diamond right now on the bags as far as base runners for Windom. Anderson still waiting for the first pitch. Another throw over to first. Joe Walinga had an RBI and then got to third after that Nick Wallinga single moments ago. Vole has scored previously in this half inning. First and third for Windom, up 5-1. Bottom of the third, and squared up did Anderson, and stabbed that one into foul territory down the first base line. Joe Wallinga fully legging it out all the way to home, but he'll have to go back to third.
Would have been an interesting. Oh, it definitely would have been a sacrifice bunt, no doubt about that. But that was interesting play. Again, doing a bunt on this type of ground would be very difficult to execute. Just considering the fact that obviously bunts have to roll a certain amount of distance before they're called dead, and especially since the ground is so absorbent, kind of have to do a little bit of a pop fly action as this one goes up and away.
Yeah, he was trying to get the barrel on it again there. One ball, one strike. Jackson Anderson awaiting that 1-1 with runners at the corners for Windom. And he does square up on that one. It goes down the first base line, and it doesn't quite go foul, and a wild throw by Home gets wide of first base. And will we have another Wallinga come home? No. It's just Joe Wallinga. He makes it 6-1 Windom. Nick Wallinga able to go all the way to third on the play, and Anderson is over at first. Safely. Nice execution like you were just talking about.
That's the execution you want, and the good part about that was, at least on the batter's perspective, is he also managed to pick up the error on it by taking up the full field of view as soon as the pitcher was trying to throw it over to first. That's why you had that overthrow. That's why you had that infield error. So the error definitely goes down on the pitcher, gets an E1 on the hit, and definitely scores and picks up trading places a little bit there on the base pass. So well executed there by the Windom offense. But JCC, I mean, it's not like they didn't. They did an excellent reaction time. They had a really good scramble behind it. They basically, if this would have been a drier field, that would have been entirely in JCC's favor. That's kind of my total opinion on that one. If this field would have been drier, that would have been a great out towards for JCC there, as we got ourselves a little bit of a conference on the mound. But it's really hard to tell what's going to happen, especially with ground balls on a real muddy and soggy turf like we got right now, just because of the fact that you've got too many divots, and if you put too many ground balls into the field, you're just chewing up the field. And the more divots you put on there, the more weird hops you're going to be getting, and it's almost essentially going to be the same thing as if the ball was going to be hitting a rock in a dry field. So it's sometimes it's really hard to judge a few times, but baseball's an interesting game.
For the Eagles, the center fielder, Quinton.
Runners at the corners once again for the Windom area Eagles, who just took a 6-1 lead. Anderson over at first after that error. Wallinga able to go over to third, and now Quentin Teets, who has not failed to at least get a board for Windom, is up, and another throw over to first to try to get Anderson now. Oh, that one came down in play.
Got some JV ball going.
That's what it is. I was like,
yeah.
B squad.
Yeah, JV's playing next door. It happens. You get some foul balls popping.
Oh, we've sent one or two over there already. Leopold, the throw, one hops, and Gallagher makes the catch. Gilbert was closer to the bag. Anderson in plenty of time. Over to second. Steals that one. And Quentin Teets now maybe has even more opportunity for another ribby or two. And he has that one near his ribs as he has to duck away from it.
You said the broadcaster's curse isn't real.
Okay. That's a stretch.
A little bit. But, I mean, you're talking about ribbies, and he's almost getting slapped in the stomach there.
2-0. Right down the middle. Quentin Teets laid off of that one for strike number 1. Second and third for Windom. Anderson now over at second. At third is Nick Wallinga. Swung on by Quentin Teets, put on the ground to short. The throw to catcher, and Leopold has Nick Wallinga in trouble between second and third, and he will apply the tag over to second on the play as well, though. Goes Quentin Teets, so Wallinga is going to go down as the second out between second and third, but part of that was by design, as Teets was able to get over to second and replace Anderson over there as he got to third on the play.
Kind of interesting on that fielder's choice, because you already had the advanced runner just sitting on the bag, so one of them was already out, guaranteed. Whether you want to tag the guy in the bag or tag the guy in the base path, one of them was out.
Strike number 1 to Joyce. Leopold in hot pursuit. Tackled Wallinga over there. Almost. Not quite. But did get the tag applied. Still second and third for Windom, though, now with 2 outs, as Holm tries to focus on the dish and get Joyce. Even count now, 1 ball, 1 strike. Last time Joyce was up, he reached on an error, got to at least second. He's also popped out to left. And that one gets through Leopold, and he comes back to the backstop, covered by Holm, but the tag didn't really have a chance as Anderson is able to come home from third, and over to third goes Quentin Teets. And it's now 7-1 Windom. Aggression on the base paths and trying to take advantage of every little detail and situation where you can put the defense in a bind, as on that pass ball, the score for Anderson. And another run 90 feet away. Swing and a miss. That's the second strike to Joyce. Quentin Teets over at third. He's been there twice before, scored once in the first to even the score. JCC trying to keep a snowman off the board, and that one swung on by Joyce and dies right at his feet.
That's what I was talking about. You got a nice soggy field, ball's just going to die right in front of you. Essentially just absorbed all of it. Dry field, that maybe would have gotten a bounce or two, but
a lot of blowing on the hands, especially the ones that are making throws. See Holm doing that. 1-2. Runner on third. That one gets away from Leopold as well, trying to go outside as Teets will come home and make it 8-1 Windom over JCC. Two balls and 2 strikes on Joyce as JCC is still trying to get out of this inning. Crooked number up there in the third. Bottom of the third here with 4. Runs for Windom. Had 3 in the second and 1 in the first after a 1-0 JCC lead. That one hit by Joyce, and it is going to be fair, just fair down the left field line. Joyce rounds first, and now will go back and be satisfied with a 2-out single.
good slice. Kept it right along the base path. I think if he would have been a little greedy, he may have gotten 2, but the fact that I think it was just kind of well read by both runner and fielder, the fact that left field was able to get all the way over there in time keeps it only as a single.
I want to say thank you to Smokin' Jake's, M&H Electric, and Focus Law. All of our sports boosters will get a shout-out before we're done here today. Carson Dosher receives it over at first on the pickoff attempt. Unsuccessful. Joyce gets back at first. Hayden Teets has been at least to second before, but he's also been an out twice so far. He grounded out the first time he was up. And now he will try to bunt, go into second, and successfully getting there is Joyce after the throw went to the right as we're looking at it. of the second base bag. So another stolen base, and Joyce is safely over there and in scoring position with 2 outs for Hayden Teets. An 8-1 Windom ball game where they've already hung 4 in the third. That went up and in to Teets. 2 balls and no strikes to him. And Hayden Teets wants to think about this one. And the count 2-0 with 2 outs. Joyce, after singling aboard, is at second. The 2-0 with 2 outs. Comes to the plate. That time they were able to hit that spot. I think that's where they've been trying to go when it got through Leopold a couple times. And this time it pays off for a strike.
Trying to get the outside bottom corner there.
That time it was successful. Hayden Teets wants time once again.
So it's what, I think it's 4 stolen bases now for Windom?
At least. The 2-1. Hayden Teets hits that one on the ground, gets to Gallagher at short. The throw over to first is not going to be in time, and now the throw home is not going to be in time either. Jackson Joyce will make it 9-1 with some heads-up base running. As Teets is safe over at first.
RBI base hit, no doubt about it.
Never left the infield. And still what goes in as the RBI for Hayden Teets. And scores Joyce and makes it a 5-run bottom of the third for Windom area. Hayden Teets over at first. And another conference coming for JCC now. Stevie Meyer will be next up with 2 outs now into the book for JCC, but they're looking for that final out to get out of the third. And then try again as they're trying to get their first offensive production since they took the 1-0 lead in the first. And Windom has gotten 5 so far with 2 outs now here in the third. 3 runs in the second and 1 in the first. And that's a 9-1 Windom lead.
But as I was kind of going back to it, it's I think it's up to 4 stolen bases here. But it's not that as Johnson behind the plate is not reading the fact that they're taking good leads off of first base. It's not that his reaction time is slow. It's just they're hoofing it. They're essentially just hoofing it, and they're able to beat the throw over to second. So it's not like he's not reacting slowly, because some catchers do react pretty slow when it comes to stolen bases, but they're just able to get a good grip on this very sticky turf here.
Throw over to first by Home. Tag applied, but too late, as Hayden Teets will stand back up after getting back. Meyer has actually stolen a base eventually after he got aboard in the first. Another throw over to first now. Another pickoff attempt unsuccessful. Meyer is also fouled out to first base. 9th Eagle to be at the plate, and a third pickoff attempt unsuccessful over to first.
About 1 out of 10 times does a pickoff actually work in high school from my years of broadcasting baseball. You throw it as many times as you want, but 1 out of 10 times you're going to get them.
Hayden Teets going for second. The throw by Leopold is not quite in time as Gilbert got over to second in short order, but another stolen base for Windom area.
And again, that goes exactly to what I was saying. You saw the spring up time. You saw the great reaction from Johnson behind the plate. He knew the steal was coming. He pops up indefinitely. It's just they're able to just hoof it. And that's the reason why they've stolen so many bases today.
Leopold awaits Holmes' delivery. Behind the plate. Swing and a miss by Meyer, who has not been the center of attention, even though he's been at the plate this whole time. And now Hayden Teets will check out for Windom.
Be Tyler Morris going to be the pinch runner as Hayden Teets, the catcher, is going to go put on some equipment here with 2 outs, no balls and 2 strikes.
Number 10, Tyler Mars.
So Tyler Mars over at second now with 2 outs. 9-1 Windom. As time is called by Meyer. Right-hander will stand back in. Holm will step off the rubber as he's looking over at Morris. Morris leaves second for a leadoff now. Holm will look back at him and deliver. And that swing is way up in the air, in the infield. Trying to come in from short is Gallagher, and he will do it just to the left of the mound and just behind it as well to finally retire the side, but not before Windom is able to stretch out that lead. 9-1 over JCC Baseball on KKOJ Radio and Explore Live Video.
Hungry and you're too busy to cook or don't want to cook? Go to Pizza Ranch in Jackson. It's their famous Buffet Your Way. Buffet Your Way is what makes Pizza Ranch famous. Check out their buffet food options including pizza, chicken, salads, sides, and desserts. Pizza Ranch in Jackson, a proud supporter of JCC Huskies sports.
United Hospital District is welcoming new patients. Welcoming patients who prefer truly local health care. Patients who prefer individualized care from doctors and medical staff that live in the communities they serve. Welcoming patients ready for a change, and they'd like to welcome you too. Visit uhd.org to learn more.
Buying or selling a home is a major life decision. Let the realtors at Stan Siebert Agency get you the best deal while making it a smooth process. If you are looking for real estate or appraisal needs, contact the Stan Siebert Agency in Lakefield, proud sponsor of Husky.
9, Jackson County Central 1. And trying not to go 1-2-3 again, as they have the last couple times they've been up. As we're into the 4th inning now, JCC with Gage Johnson coming back up. Had a couple strikes on him, but made some very solid contact and got an RBI out of it as well, as Gallagher was able to walk home. As out to left field it went for Johnson, went about 325 of the 330. Not only, if that is exaggerating, it's only slightly. Johnson was able to get a good hold of it. That was way back in the 1st.
Bottom of the 3rd, 5 runs scored off of 4 hits and 1 error for Windom. Tacking on to a 9-1 lead here in the top of the 4th.
So that's 3 errors total for JCC. A couple errors in the 2nd helped Windom out, but mostly it was just Windom being able to execute on the base paths. A couple pass balls, so couple miscues for JCC that went Windom's way. Swing and a miss as they're trying to reload from a team that won 18 games last year. They did lose several all-conference stars. Quentin Teets a returner for them, and that's a strike on Johnson.
Gives
2 strikes now.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Starting things out here in the top of the 4th. JCC looking for some base runners.
1-2 for Gage Johnson. Upstairs and still was able to find the zone. And so that'll be the 6th strikeout from Erickson atop the hill for Windom and the first out of the 4th. Hayden Warmka coming up for the first time since striking out looking in the 1st. With 1 out in the top of the 4th. He fouls that one nearly straight back and out of play. Strike number 1.
You can tell Erickson's having some fun out there. I mean, he's picked up another strikeout. He's got a big old smile on his face. That's what you like to see, just when players are having a good time.
This one gets through the legs of Hayden Teets, but no base runners, so nobody to worry about. It will be the first ball of the at-bat, or the appearance for Warmka. Swings on the 1-1, sends it on the ground to third, trying to leg it out, and he will just be safe at first. So there's your base runner. Warmka over to first.
Only takes one to start snowballing.
Down by a snowman right now, and there's one on the back of Holm, number 8, the pitcher for JCC. He grounded out to end the first. Trying for something better to advance Warmka as well. Nice job finding the bottom of the zone that time for Erickson for strike 1.
Sinker looks good. Again, that's just the way Erickson delivers. As the game continues, he just gets more and more control.
Warmka on first, now has to get back to first. Did he? No. Did he?
He did.
Oh. Okay. That was a very out-looking safe call by the guy in the middle, but all right. Did he go like that?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Just the hands, no arms in that one.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss by Holm, and
say he tipped it.
Yeah, did tip it there. It's going to be strike 2. Warmka still at first. 2 strikes on Holm. Swings and hits that one straight back up the middle. The flip over to second in time. The throw over to third is in time as well.
Return to sender, bang, bang play. That's going to retire the side.
And keep it 9-1. JCC trailing Windom as we go to the bottom of the 4th on KKOJ Radio and Explore Live Video.
Hungry and you're too busy to cook or don't want to cook? Go to Pizza Ranch in Jackson. It's their famous Buffet Your Way. Buffet Your Way is what makes Pizza Ranch famous. Check out their buffet food options including pizza, chicken, salads, sides, and desserts. Pizza Ranch in Jackson, a proud supporter of JCC Huskies sports.
United Hospital District is welcoming new patients. Welcoming patients who prefer truly local health care. Patients who prefer individualized care from doctors and medical staff that live in the communities they serve. Welcoming patients ready for a change, and they'd like to welcome you too. Visit uhd.org to learn more.
Buying or selling a home is a major life decision. Let the realtors at Stan Sievert Agency get you the best deal while making it a smooth process. If you are looking for real estate or appraisal needs, contact the Stan Sievert Agency in Lakefield, proud sponsor of Huskies.
4th inning, Windom leading 9-1 and looking to be greedy, trying to add to it. As Matthew Vole, who got things started in the 3rd, is going to start things off in the 4th as well. He walked aboard, had one of those steals that you've been referencing, and actually was on a full count pitch that he was able to get aboard. And he battled his way back in that at-bat. He eventually started a 5-run inning for Windom last time in the field. And Carson Colander now climbing the hill for Jackson County Central as we begin this 4th.
No runs off of 1 hit for JCC back there in the top of the 4th, but it was just, again, the really hard part about dealing with a very soggy field like this is that ground balls are going to get absorbed, they're going to slow down, and that's why you had such a clean execution on that double play. Didn't really have to worry about timing, didn't have to worry about like doing a really rampant, like, oh yeah, we got to get this double play fast, fast, fast. It was just, no, we got all the time in the world, and that's why it was just so perfectly executed.
Gives him 3 hits on the day. Gallagher led things off by getting aboard and later scoring. It's been all Windom since then. Thank you, Farmers and Merchant State Bank of Alpha, Clausen Insurance Professionals, and Stan Sievert Agency of Lakefield for supporting our Huskies broadcasts. Carson Dosher's first pitch of the year to Vole. And he will drop that one in there for strike number 1.
Breaking ball goes outside. Good way to start it out.
And deals that one. Gets through Leopold, but nobody to worry about. So it just evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. So Holm. Dosher now with another delivery. Not quite able to find the zone with that one, so it's ball number 2. And 9 runs on 8 hits. 3 errors for JCC before home left the game. One is strike number 2 on Vole now.
Good cut swing.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Dosher to the plate. Swing and a miss. And so the first action Dosher gets is his first strikeout. And the first out of the bottom of the 4th. Joe Walinga coming up. He was able to get an RBI last time he was up and eventually scored as well. As a designated hitter, he made contact but grounded out to third the first time he was up in this game. In the second.
Tuck that one inside, almost at his shoes a little bit. There's ball 1.
And that one also is down low, bounces away. Ball number 2. Still looking for a strike here against Walinga. Joe Walinga. 9-1 Windom. Dosher kicks and fires, and that one goes way up and out of play. Nearly straight back. So that's how you get strike number 1 in this appearance for Joe Walinga. Nobody on for him with 1 out. A strikeout for Dosher in his first action. And now he'll throw another one. Joe Walinga sends that one way up into the air, and Thomas Leopold ranges over from the catcher position to the right side of the plate, makes the catch in foul territory, and 2 up, 2 down so far for Windom, up 9-1 in the bottom of the 4th. Erickson, who is pitching today, has lined out to left. He was the first out last time he was up. Before that, he singled aboard, had at least 1 stolen base, and then was able to get home eventually as part of the second inning. Takes strike 1 this time. And after a couple crooked numbers in a row, JCC has 2 quick outs on the Eagles. Trying to get Erickson to chase, evens the count there, does Dosher.
This is where the mental aspect of baseball comes in, because you got a new pitcher who hasn't thrown a whole lot, but he's already quick to earn 2 quick outs.
Erickson hits that one, and ranging over to his right, our left, it is Gage Johnson able to make the catch. It is 3 up, 3 down for Windom. They're up 9-1, but JCC's coming back up. JCC Baseball on KKOJ Radio and Explore Live Video.
Craig Newell and his staff with Newell Orthodontics of Spirit Lake, Worthington, and Windom are well-trained, highly skilled, and licensed to provide the best quality orthodontic care. Newell Orthodontics wishes the best of luck to all local athletes throughout the season.
Where you bank does make a difference. This is Paul with the Farmers and Merchant State Bank of Alpha, member FDIC. When you invest your money in a community bank, it's reinvested in the community. Keep your money working locally and enjoy the benefits every day.
Temperance Lake Ridge Senior Living is here to support you in all your school activities and encourages you to be fearless in the pursuit of your goals and dreams. Temperance Lake Ridge offers state-of-the-art assisted living and memory care.
Website at focuslawfirm.com. Go Huskies!
Windom area also making a pitching change as we come back for the 5th inning. 9-1, Windom is on top, and Jackson Joyce will now climb the hill after being behind the dish. And over to catcher goes Meyer. And Erickson goes over to first for Windom area.
Which goes back to the point of that mentality in baseball where you got to learn off a quick pitcher. It's not that you can't learn anything from the warm-up pitches that you're watching, but especially going back into JCC's favor, that's why they were able to get the quick 3 up, 3 down, is they had to essentially learn on the fly. They were able to connect bats real quick with the first pitcher there for JCC, but the second one that came in You got to learn that on the fly. You got to figure that out almost immediately. And it's a bit hard on the batters just to understand, because after you face him like once or twice, you're like, okay, he favors the left-hand side or he favors the outside corner. But it's that mentality of baseball. It's a learning process.
And speaking of mentality as well, an immediate test for JCC coming out here with a very young team against Windom area, as Colander will take that one low and outside. And so part of it is just gathering data, especially early on in the season with such a young team.
And it's also the beginning stages. Because just what you see here today is this ball goes down low for 2 balls and no strikes. But just because what you see here today can easily change about halfway through the season. Pitchers can get more control. Base runners can get speedier. This ball down low, 3 balls and no strikes. So it is a long-going, evolving process.
Joyce with 3-0. And still can't quite find the zone. So he actually takes a page out of Erickson's book, walks the first batter that he sees. And last time that happened, JCC was able to get their first run of the day. And they're only so far. Down 9-1 as Carson Dosher, who was able to help get that 1-2-3 inning and bring JCC back up offensively, will swing and hit that one out of play, just to the right of home plate.
And that mentality thing is also only half of it, because we're also dealing with some weather stuff here today. Because today, 45, dark, cloudy day, compared to about mid-June, where it's 75 and gorgeous outside. Players are going to be playing different too. So there's so many factors.
Dosher down to third. The throw over to second is in time. The throw down to first is in time as well to get Dosher. The lead runner, of course, was Colander trying to get over to second, and he became the first out. Dosher goes down as the second, and Thomas Leopold, the catcher, will stand in after the second double play for Windom area today. So defensively, they've been able to execute, and they've been able to, like you've referenced at the other double play, not make it look rushed at all.
Because the ball just loses its speed almost instantly as soon as it hits all that mud here in the infield.
Leopold takes that one right down the pipe for strike number 1. He grounded out last time he was up, which was in the second. Feels like long ago, as Windom area has been able to extend their innings, their half frame, or their frames, their half innings. Let's just go the whole thesaurus, all the synonyms. That'll be good. All of it.
I like it.
Leopold swings and towers that one into foul territory down the left field line and just stays in play, but rolls, well, really out of play down there. So just trying to straighten that one out a little bit. Decent power there.
Brings up a 1-ball, 2-strike count on 2 outs. Nobody on here in the top of the 5th inning.
A towering strike number 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes with nobody on. And that one down just below the knees of Leopold. So that's the second ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. And that'll go in as a strikeout on Leopold. The first one for Joyce from atop the hill. And Windom area remains up 9-1 after 5. KKOJ Radio and Explore Live Video with JCC Baseball.
Out and enjoy the scrumptious goodies at A&W Restaurant in Mountain Lake. Burger baskets, amazing root beer floats, coney dogs, ice cream treats, and more. A&W Restaurant proudly supports local sports. Download the A&W app and order online or drive through to pick your order up.
Hi, this is Cade from the ASA Auto Plaza in Jackson, Minnesota. ASA Auto Plaza is a proud sponsor of our local sports teams, coaches, and athletes. When you're looking for a new or used vehicle, think local as well. That's ASA Auto Plaza, your hometown family dealer.
Strikes or gutter balls, it's all good at Dudley's Garage in Lakefield, Minnesota. Head to Dudley's before or after the game for great food and fun. Dudley's Garage in Lakefield, Minnesota. Open Tuesday through Sunday at 11. Eat, drink.
Appraisal needs, contact the Stan Sievert Agency in Lakefield, proud sponsor of Husky Sports.
Jackson County Central trailing 9-1 against Windom area as we go to the bottom of the fifth. And the Eagles will send another pinch player, this time in the form of a hitter. Looks like
Spencer Clevin. It's my favorite number, Clevin.
Oh, I thought you were saying 24 for a second, but nope.
No.
Thank you, Sunshine Foods of Jackson, Dr. Craig Newell Orthodontics of Spirit Lake and Windom, and Smokin' Java, along with Terry Bargfried, American Family Insurance. Windom area with a team who won 18 games but lost several stars from their team a year ago. But Jackson County Central, a very young team, Windom able to use their identity where they like to be aggressive and take advantage of situations they can put their opponents in. Overall today, it's a decent summary of how we got to 9-1 as Clevin will come up. He's a senior, and he'll see time here. Cleveland. I wondered.
Cleveland at Cleveland.
Like, isn't it Cleveland? Yes, it is. There we go. And he'll be in the 8th spot of the order now. Swing and a miss. That one up and in from Dosher, who was quick pitching once again here. 1 ball, 1 strike. Place of Nick Wallinga here in the lineup. And Cleveland will have ball number 2 on him now. And that one just upstairs as well.
Dozier, a guy who likes to favor the outside a lot. Trying to go up and away with that one, and it certainly does. We're going to try to jump in there just for the top out. Of course, Cleveland already tried once.
3-2, right down the pipe.
No, outside corner a little bit. Outside edge, but he got him looking.
Oh, okay. Backwards K. And so the second strikeout for Dosher. First pitch now to not Anderson. Instead, it is Marshall Bartelt. 15 instead of 14.
Lob that one in there. Strike 1, so 1-1 count. 1 out, nobody on.
Swing and a miss. Strike number 2. Bartelt against Dosher. First time we've seen him specifically. Swing, and that one is hit into right center. And we'll see if he goes for 2. He does. And that will easily be a 1-out double for Bartelt.
2 clean. Right center gap, 2 clean. Easy extra base hit.
Bartelt, a junior outfielder. And we're back up at the top of the order for Windom now as Quentin Teets will try again. He's scored twice in the game. Been on base 3 times already. And the throw over to second gets into center, and Bartelt was not fast enough to try to take advantage and get to third as Dosher tries to pick one off at second. Back to second he goes, does Bartelt, as Quentin Teets most recently got aboard and eventually scored. In a mixture of hits and errors, that was one of the hits. 9 runs on 8 hits, 3 errors for JCC. Windom area now with a 9th hit, up 9-1 in the run column. Runner on second for Quentin Teets. And he swings and ropes that one out to left center. And that one is going to get all the way to the fence. And here comes Bartelt.
He's going for triple.
And that's going to be a triple for Quentin Tietz. In fact, they are waving him home.
He's going.
And he is going to be safe. Head first slide inside the park home run for Quentin Tietz.
I get to use the home run button. Home run button. All right.
A 2-run scorer of Bartelt as well. Horns honking 11-1.
That's an mercy.
And that is how it ends as Jackson County Central falls 11-1 against Windom area and walked off by Quentin Tietz, as that was the third run that he has personally scored. He's able to get a couple RBIs out of that one as well. And so we'll step aside for 4 minutes, just about, here on KKOJ Radio and Explore Line Video. We'll be back to fully wrap it up as it's 11-1 in about, just in a run rule fashion. Windom area is able to get the win over Jackson County Central. JCC Baseball on KKOJ Radio and Explore Live Video.
Plumbing and Heating in Jackson, your local root dealer, supports area students in and out of the classroom. Stay warm in the winter and cool in the summer with a root HVAC system from Thermers Plumbing and Heating in Jackson, a team you can count on. Go Huskies!
Warmka Towing of Jackson offers 24/7 towing, along with heavy-duty towing, winching, jump starts, tire changes, fuel deliveries, and door unlocks. Located across from Warmka Service Center. If you need your car, truck, semi, or heavy-duty equipment towed, look to Warmka Towing, 507-847-3292. Warmka Towing in Jackson.
Need a boost? Head to Smokin' Java in Jackson for the best coffee, espresso, baked goods, breakfast, and lunch. Proud supporters of the JCC Huskies and local sports. Smokin' Java, fueling the community one cup at a time. Follow on Facebook for specials.
Are you looking for an experienced and reliable electrician? Call M&H Electric, serving Jackson and the surrounding area. For ag, residential, industrial, and commercial jobs, call M&H Electric at 507-847-2960. M&H Electric, a name you can trust in Jackson, Minnesota.
Are you hungry and you're too busy to cook or don't want to cook? Go to Pizza Ranch in Jackson. It's their famous Buffet Your Way. Buffet Your Way is what makes Pizza Ranch famous. Check out their buffet food options, including pizza, chicken, salads, sides, and desserts. Pizza Ranch in Jackson, a proud supporter of JCC Huskies sports.
Terry Bargfried, your local American Family Insurance agent, is proud to support the JCC Huskies. Contact her today at 507-847-3440 or stop by their office in Jackson.
American Family Insurance.
Where you bank does make a difference. This is Paul with the Farmers and Merchant State Bank of Alpha, member FDIC. When you invest your money in a community bank, it's reinvested in the community. Keep your money working locally and enjoy the benefits every day.
Start saving money and time by downloading the Sunshine Foods mobile app today. Make your shopping list and earn rewards on every visit, as well as free items and exclusive giveaways. Visit Sunshine Foods on Highway 71 in Jackson to start earning rewards today.
At Southwest Broadband, we want to wish our JCC Huskies good luck as they work hard and strive for greatness. As the area's provider for the fastest fiber optic connections of voice, video, and internet, we know what it takes to go the distance. Learn more at southwestbroadband.com and go Huskies!
Buying or selling a home is a major life decision. Let the realtors at Stan Sievert Agency get you the best deal while making it a smooth process. If you are looking for real estate or appraisal needs, contact the Stan Sievert Agency in Lakefield, proud sponsor of Husky Sports.
Ribs tickling your taste buds? Head to Smokin' Jake's in Arnold's Park for fall off the bone goodness. They not only smoke incredible ribs and meats, but their full menu offers something for everyone. Open daily for lunch and dinner, plus late night breakfast Thursdays to Saturdays. Smokin' Jake's. Satisfy your smoking hunger.
Ashley Schmidt at Focus Law Firm in Jackson is proud to support the JCC Huskies. At Focus Law, they know it takes tremendous focus and determination to compete at a high level. To learn more about Focus Law, visit the firm's website at focuslawfirm.com. Go Huskies!
Dr. Craig Newell and his staff with Newell Orthodontics of Spirit Lake, Worthington, and Windom are well-trained, highly skilled, and licensed to provide the best quality orthodontic care. Newell Orthodontics wishes the best of luck to all local athletes throughout the season.
Clausen Insurance Professionals is an independent agency located in downtown Jackson. Hi, this is Heather Clausen. Donna Dam and I will make sure you have the coverage you need when you need it. So stop by our office in downtown Jackson. Clausen Insurance Professionals, a proud Husky sports sponsor.
Right.
Coach Pearson, as we're looking at the right.
Arts and hybrid course platforms used to attend classes. Visit any of their locations or go to mnwest.edu to explore your options. That's mnwest.edu.
Strikes or gutter balls, it's all good at Dudley's Garage in Lakefield, Minnesota. Head to Dudley's before or after the game for great food and fun. Dudley's Garage in Lakefield, Minnesota. Open Tuesday through Sunday.
Explore the opportunities waiting for you at Minnesota West Community and Technical College. We offer a network of 5 campuses and 2 dynamic learning centers. Each location offers specialized education tailored to its community's needs. Whether you're seeking technical training, transfer pathways, or a liberal arts degree, embrace flexibility with distance learning options, including PSEO. We are one college with endless possibilities. Check us out at mnwest.edu.
Us over there. Here we are. KKOJ Radio and Explore Live Video. Jackson County Central falling against Windom. 11 runs on 11 hits. No errors for the Windom Area Eagles as they get a 1-run rule victory over JCC. 1 run on 3 hits, 4 errors, although you were arguing with that.
Yes. So according to the PA guy's box score, he ruled the inside the park home run as an overthrow at home when we've got a bird's eye view literally right on top of home plate, right behind here. And from what I could tell, the base runner had already crossed home plate by the time the ball even got thrown to home. So there would have been absolutely no way the tag would have been even just put into perspective by that. So it was just a great job of base running that essentially just put it all together for an inside the park home run. Just great overall base hit. And that's at least my perspective of it. But, I mean, I've made mistakes before myself, so potentially that could be as well, but regardless, it still was the kind of nail in the coffin on this one that put it as 11-1 to finish this one after 5.
Yeah, that was how it ended as Teets was able to do the headfirst slide into home and make it 11-1. Windom able to get the run rule victory as JCC actually took the early lead, got 1 run as Ben Gallagher was able to get aboard via walk and then was able to advance on a wild pitch and then stole a bag and then was able to get over on an RBI double from Gage Johnson, which went out toward left field, kind of like the Teets one did, and Johnson's was very nearly out of here, but he was at least able to get an RBI out of it, and JCC was able to break the ice, but then Windom Area, it was all the Eagles from there on out, as in the bottom of the first, they were able to get 1 run, 3 runs in the second, and then 5 runs in the third. That made it 9-1 at that point. And Quentin Teets was one of the most productive Eagles, fittingly as well, all day long, as he was able to get a couple doubles. The inside the park home run, as we already referenced, a single as well. He got to at least third each time he was up for the Eagles. Jackson Joyce was productive as well. He scored a run for the Windom Area Eagles, had a single himself, as Hayden Teets had a hit and at least 1 stolen base, an RBI, a couple RBIs for Teets. Stevie Meyer had got to second in the first at least, but was over 2 other than that. Vale was able to get aboard with a walk, and then he eventually scored 1 of the runs as well. Joe Walinga's day, from the plate at least, was highlighted by an RBI in the third, and eventually he was a run himself as well. Nick Walinga was able to get a couple hits for the Eagles today, and he was one of their runs as well. Jackson Anderson was a couple of runs and benefited from an error a couple times, a couple different errors for JCC to get aboard, and then eventually was 2 of the runs. And Bartelt was able to get a double moments before Teets was able to nearly go out to the left field fence, and then he was able to come all the way around with that speed that we referenced multiple times during the game, as well as he's out in center field, so he needs that, and he made use of it for sure. A half dozen strikeouts for the starter Erickson for Windom today, as he is able to be victorious. Carson Dosher was able to handle himself very well, though, for the JCC Huskies after he climbed the mound and was able to turn away Windom area until they started making contact, and that was partially because of Teets. But the first 4 Eagles he saw, a couple strikeouts mixed in there for him, as Talon Holm was the one who started things off for JCC. And when he left after 4, there were 9 runs on the board and 8 hits for Windom area and a trio of errors for JCC. At that point, eventually growing to the 11 runs and the 1 on the JCC side of the scoreboard. As see if we can visit with coach or not, but either way, JCC with a run rule loss against Windom area, and a very young team, and all of the reps that they get are going to be extremely valuable, especially early on, and going to pay dividends down the line.
And that was one of the things that I wanted to mention here too, is that this whole game was a gigantic learning experience for JCC right now, mostly because they're averaging about a sophomore on the team, and all you can do from here is just go up. That's all you can do from here is just go up. You can take everything that you've learned from this game here today, reflect on that, and just go up, because you've got another 2 solid years ahead of you to take what you've learned here today and use that to your advantage to try to just make yourself better as a player, better as a teammate going forward. Plus, today was not going to be easy altogether. Today was filled and riddled with challenges. You've got a field change location, which if you're any superstitious like I am, that usually does mean something there. So we got a different field change. You've got an extremely muddy, chopped up, chewed up field, because when they were doing some early practices, you do some ground balls on the grass. Well, the grass is all muddy, all kind of congested up. That starts getting chewed up, and then by the time it comes to play time, those divots stay there. And so by the time you're putting other ground balls into play, they're going to be hitting those divots that you put in there during practice. So you're going to have to do a little bit of reaction time on that one. Something we talked about repeatedly during the entirety of the broadcast is that because the ground is muddy and soft, it takes a lot of bounce and a lot of zip off of some of those ground balls, which means the fielders are going to be able to go in, and that's why they got 2 double plays for Windom, is because they took all the zip off the ball, and you could easily relax. You don't have to worry about overthrowing anything. Just bing, bang, boom. You got the bang, bang play. That's an easy double play there on the board. You're also dealing with cold weather. Sometimes players just don't really do that well in cold weather, and that's just one of the other factors that you got to worry about. You got cold weather going on. You know, your muscles aren't as relaxed. They're not as loose as it would be on a sunny and 85 day. That's something else you got to worry about too. You got to know your limits, know your restrictions, but also don't overexert yourself, especially on colder days, because then you're going to get prone to injury. And then when it comes down to sunny and 85, you can't play because you got some torn quadricep or you got some torn bicep muscle that you did all the way back in the early season. So there's a whole lot of challenges and a whole lot of learning experiences for this one. It doesn't matter that you lost 11-1. That doesn't matter at all. What matters is that you started out the season, you shook off the rust of the offseason, and then you also started to learn, okay, this is what we can do to essentially establish ourselves, especially after the expectations are so high from last season. So essentially this is just like the stepping stone and the learning curve of the entirety of the length of the season. And that's just something that you can always put more positively towards your step. You're not going to win them all, of course. That's obviously something guaranteed. But you also can't just go in there thinking that you're invincible because last season you won 18 games. So you got to essentially just establish yourself. What's a good starting point? What's a good stepping point, especially from a young squad to where you're going to be by the time at the end of the season. Hey. And last point, of course, they also face the challenge that essentially Windom read every single pitch that Talon Holm was cooking. They read every single pitch. That's why they got 9 base hits. That's why they got 10 base hits. That's why they got so many. So that was, just one of those things that, when you're reading the pitcher and you're able to make connections, defense is going to have to work a little bit harder.
Hayden Warmke had the other hit as well for JCC, the 3 hits, and a couple double plays for Windom as they were able to execute those in the 4th and the 5th to help retire the side eventually, but Warmke was able to get a 1-out single in the 4th, and that was the 3rd hit that JCC was able to collect today as Gage Johnson had that double like I mentioned. And now we'll hear from Coach Weirson as we fully wrap up the day here on KKOJ Radio and Explore Live Video. Thanks for coming alongside, and, I wonder, actually, you didn't hear what Dan said, but some of what Dan said maybe is going to echo what you maybe said in that huddle, as you have a young team, and you got an opening day in. You got to play some baseball, which is saying something, especially after some of the weather we've had this week. And so what was the message after today?
Yeah, you got to take, every at-bat, every pitch, every ball in play, and we got to learn from it. It's a long season. We, gave them a lot of extra runs, a lot of extra outs that obviously hurt us as far as keeping the game close, but we had really good at-bats. We did make a good number of plays and a good number of throws. I thought our pitchers did well. I think we only had one walk. So, we were doing a lot of things right. We just got to continue to learn, get better every pitch, get better every at-bat, and by the end of the season, I think these young guys will come along just fine.
Yeah, you had a really good start, obviously. You got on the board first, were able to break the ice, so to speak. And so, it's just kind of about stringing more positive things together, right?
Yeah, and then we said that as well. Like, we did a lot of things right. We hit the ball hard. A couple times we hit it hard right at them, and they turned double plays on it. So, unlucky. 4 or 5 feet one way or the other, and we got 2 runners on and 1 out or nobody out, and instead we're walking off the field with our heads down. But it's one of those things that baseball, the law of averages, like there's going to be days like today where you hit into 2 double plays, and here in the near future we're going to be turning 2 double plays and we're going to be running off the field excited, and that's just the way it is. So we just got to keep our heads up. We'll be just fine. I know the guys are, happy to be out here and compete and get a game in, and hoping to get another couple on Saturday if the weather holds out, and just got to continue to improve and keep our heads up, and we'll be just fine.
How do you guys deal with some of those weather challenges, obviously, even if you guys are able to get up to Gustavus? Obviously, the turf and stuff, Springfield, Hayfield on the docket, hopefully. But like we were talking about even earlier this week, you guys were able to get this one in at least, but the cold weather is a challenge, but that's part of the early season a lot of times too.
It is. We got to practice in it. We got to play in it, and that's, Minnesota baseball in the spring, and I thought the guys were prepared. I think we've had good days outside. I think we've had the days that we had to be inside. I thought we had good practices, and I think how we came out and we got ahead and we made some plays early, and then, some of our youth and I think just a little bit of experience as far as just having a little more confidence in ourselves, attacking the ball, being a little bit more vocal on a couple of balls that were in the air, and that stuff is. Those are things that we can fix. So I know that we're going to improve and we'll be just fine.
Any other thoughts, especially going into Saturday?
No, just keep playing ball. It's fun.
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate you coming over.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much to Mike Weirson for coming over and wrapping things up for Jackson County Central as they fall today, but they got better days ahead for sure, and we'll keep following along on KKOJ Radio and Exploring Live Video. And thank you to Michael, and thank you to Dan Swoboda for making sure that we're on the air, sounding good and looking good. Safe travels to everybody for JCC. A short trip, but still safe travels nonetheless. And hopefully that weather does hold out and they're able to get more of those reps and continue to build this young team. And JCC is able to continue to build throughout this season as well. 11-1, the run rule victory for the Windom Area Eagles, the arch rival. They'll see them again on the 8th of May. At least that's what we expect them to see them, and we will plan on bringing you that one as well. And so we'll see where each of these teams stack up later on in the season for sure, and continue to monitor that. And so thank you, Michael, once again. And for Dan Swoboda, I'm Kempson Cross, signing off on KKOJ Radio and Explore Live Video. Have a good night.
You've been listening to High School